In this video, we're talking about 7 curiously effective techniques to eliminate writer's block from your career forever. Coming right up. What's up, guys? Michael Laron here with Author Level Up, helping you write world-class stories better and faster. And I create these videos because I believe that each of you has James Patterson level talent, and you just need help unlocking it. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and click that little bell, ding, 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 to get notifications every time I have a new video. And this video is part 2 of a 2-part series where we're talking about how to eliminate and cure writer's block from your career forever. So if you haven't seen the first video, be sure to check the YouTube card above my head or the link in the video description. And I did want to let you guys know that this series is brought to you by my book, Be a Writing Machine. It's strategies on how to write better and faster, beat writer's block, and be prolific. It's one of my most popular books for writers, and all the stuff I'm talking about in this video and more, you'll be able to find in that book at authorlevelup.com/machine. So let's get into it. Now, I said that these strategies are going to be curiously effective. That means they're probably not going to be run-of-the-mill strategies that you see on a Google search. So strategy number 1 is to meditate. And no, I'm not talking about going off and meditating for hours at a time. I found that meditating about 5 minutes before starting a writing session can help me greatly. So here's what I do. I sit on my couch or I sit in a chair and I eliminate all distractions, and I set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes. And then for that 5 minutes, I close my eyes and I just let my mind wander. I try to just eliminate everything from my mind, and I just let my mind wander. And every once in a while, I'll ask myself, if I'm working on a novel, I'll ask myself, where was I in my work in progress? And then I just visualize what happened in the story. I visualize what I wrote the day before. And I see my characters and I see the world, and then I try to see what my characters are going to do next. Because you guys know that I don't do outlining anymore, so I write into the dark. And I find that that helps me tremendously. It calms me. It helps me get back up to speed with what I just wrote. And like I said, it's just a great way to start a writing session with like super zen. My second strategy, and this is one that has helped me many, many times, and that is what I call MICROFOCUS. So the United States Navy SEALs go through a lot of rigorous training. And one of the things that I've read about is how they are trained to microfocus. So the training is really brutal. It's really rigorous. And if I've got any Navy SEALs here watching this video, why don't you comment in the videos and let everybody know how difficult this training is. And one of the things that they teach them to do is called microfocusing. So instead of I'm going to think about getting through boot camp. That's not what they're taught to think. They're taught to think, how can I take the next step? So if I'm crawling through the mud, how can I move my arm? How can I get through the end of this obstacle that I'm dealing with right now so that I can go to the next obstacle? And I think that's just a great way to look at the world. It's a great way to look at any problem you're dealing with, to focus on the moment. Right? And when you're dealing with writer's block, it feels like you're never going to be able to finish this current novel that you're dealing with. But might I suggest to you to not focus on the book, don't focus on the chapter, focus on the next word that you are going to write. And if you do this enough and you focus on the next word and the next word and the next word, eventually you're going to find that the writer's block falls away and you'll have a lot of words to show. The third strategy that helps me, and I do this when I'm meditating, it's visualizing the problem that I'm dealing with. So whatever it is I'm struggling with, maybe it is ads, or maybe it is writing a chapter or trying to figure out a plot hole in my story, I visualize the problem and then I visualize myself solving it. Like I visualize it as like this giant ball of like wires, and I imagine myself untangling the wires slowly and surely and very patiently and very methodically, and I imagine myself arriving at the solution. I know that this sounds strange, but it really does work. There's something to be said about figuring out what it is you're struggling with, visualizing it, and then seeing yourself succeed. That is a great way to think about your story and a great way to also eliminate writer's block. My fourth strategy is a little bit unusual, and I know that I'm probably going to get a little bit of heat for this because it's not intuitive. Okay, my fourth strategy is to drift and to lean into the writer's block. So you probably have driven a car and the car starts skidding, particularly on a snowy road. You're driving in the snow and the car starts veering out of control. Well, what do most people do? Most people, they try to correct the car, right? And that is the wrong thing to do because then you lose even more control. The best thing to do when you're skidding out of control is to lean into the skid, right? It's a little scary when you first start doing it, but eventually you'll come out of it. It could be the same thing with writer's block in certain situations. Now, I don't recommend you do this all the time, and I don't recommend that you do this for a long period of time, but what you can do is if you're dealing with writer's block, maybe you need to just get away from the computer. Maybe you need to go and do something. Maybe you need to go read a book. Maybe you need to go take a nap. Maybe you need to do something, okay? And by leaning into the writer's block, maybe it's that the answer that you're looking for is out there. You just haven't encountered it yet. Now, again, I recognize this can be very dangerous advice when put into the wrong hands. You've got to have a lot of self-control to be able to do this, right? Because I could see people saying, "Oh, well, Michael Laurent said, let's just drift and lean into the writer's block," and then 2 years pass, and then you haven't continued your book. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just simply saying that there is value in walking away, and there is value in letting your mind have some time to untangle whatever it is you're dealing with. All right, my fifth strategy is to listen to yourself. One of the things that Dean Wesley Smith talks about a lot is the creative voice and the critical voice. The creative voice is your source of creativity. It's your source of inspiration. Your critical voice is your inner critic. And the critical voice is very loud. The critical voice talks very loudly. If you could personify your critical voice, it would be yelling, and it would be on a scale of 11 out of 10. Your creative voice is a whisper, and it's something that many people don't know how to hear. They don't listen to it when they do hear it. And so your task is to learn how to silence your critical voice so that you can listen to what your creative voice is saying. What is that tiny whisper telling you to do with the story? When you're dealing with a problem in your chapter, or maybe you don't know where to go next, or maybe your character did something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense and you're trying to figure out if you need to change it, listen to that inner voice. What is it telling you to do? Sometimes the best way you can unlock this voice is to go on a walk. So stop what you're doing, go out and get out into the sunshine or even into the rain. Take an umbrella if you get out into the rain, but go walk and just clear your mind. You'll find that sometimes the answer will come to you during a walk. Sometimes the answer will come to you during meditation as well. You just have to have the courage to listen. Strategy number 6 is to take care of yourself. You know, it's not worth beating yourself up over writer's block. You know, don't get to a point where you're not eating right or you're not sleeping. You know, it's not worth it. There's always that stereotypical image that people have in their head of a writer when they have writer's block where like the whole world stops. Don't do that. Take care of yourself, eat right, get as much sleep as you can. Do the things that you still like to do, because you'll find that the more consistent you are with your life, the harder it is for writer's block to come. And strategy number 7, and this is one of my secret sauces, the one reason I've been doing this for 7 years, is to have fun. Writer's block is not a threat to your writing career. I mean, just think about it like this. Whatever problem you're dealing with in your manuscript right now, think about all of the manuscripts and all of the books and all of the years after this where you're going to be writing, right? Now, for many of you, I would imagine that's going to be a very long time, all right? So this one book that you're writing, I mean, you're stressing out and getting yourself all worked up over one book that's going to be but a glimmer in your entire career. I mean, just put some perspective on it. So I like to just have fun with what I'm doing, you know? I like to laugh at myself when I'm writing. I don't consider this to be a job, although in many respects you could call it a job. I mean, I have to make these videos for you guys every week. I have to do my podcast every week. I have to show up to the page on a consistent basis in order to publish books and make money, right? But I don't see this as a job. And I hope that you don't either. And I hope that you don't take the same stressors that stress you out at work and bring them into the writing life, because then, yeah, you're going to deal with a lot of writer's block, and it's not going to be very much fun for you. So have fun, approach the writing life and the art and the business of writing with the jolliness and the eyes and the mind of a child. And you will just be amazed at how quickly the writer's block goes away. So those are my 7 strategies on beating writer's block. Remember, guys, that you can check out my book, Be a Writing Machine, that has these strategies and a whole lot more. It's my tips on how to write better and faster, beat writer's block, and be prolific. Again, it's one of my better-selling books for writers, and yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. So with that, I hope that you all are doing great. I hope that writer's block disappears for you immediately after watching this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
Perfect.
Well, in this video, we're going to jump over to my computer, and I'm going to give some tips on how to keep an author budget and how to track your expenses. What's up, guys? Michael Laurent here with Author Level Up, helping you write world-class stories better and faster. And I create these writing videos because I believe that each of you has skin... What's up, guys? Michael Laurent here with Author Level Up, helping you write world-class stories better and faster. And I create these videos because I believe that each of you has Ken Follett level talent, and you just need help unlocking it. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and click that little bell, ding, 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 to get notifications every time I have a new writing video. And without further ado, we'll jump on my computer and we'll talk about budgeting. And in this video, we're talking about budgeting, right? Because many of you, I imagine, self-fund your novels, and so the money is not always flowing in, and so you've got to figure out how much money can you put into your writing career in order to keep it going. So we're going to jump over to my computer, and we're going to talk about that. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are and what kind of tools you use in keeping your own writing budget, and let's all learn from each other on this. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next video.